Hello, hello. All right, I'm live on my Instagram. And going live today feels really big. I feel vulnerable. I feel a bit nervous. I have something big to share with you today. And I'm nervous because I really want to sink into the depth of it. I don't want to stay really superficial. I want to sink to the depth of it and channel something and transmit to you something that is really very powerful that I received this weekend. This weekend on Saturday, I went into ceremony with Grandmother Ayahuasca. And if you don't know me, my name is Ava. My name is iamavaavatar. I call myself iamavaavatar because I believe in transcending our humanness into our avatar self and reclaiming back our superpowers. And my whole life is really a mission on reclaiming that. But then there is a deeper layer of understanding the true reason why I came here and incarnated as a soul in human form. And we all have that. We all have a bigger and much deeper reason and meaning for why we came here. And it has something to do with this planet and where this planet is at and how we are contributing and how we chose to come in to contribute. So I've been working with plant medicine quite a bit, and over the last couple of years, they really have supported my spiritual awakening and the radical awakening from the sleep state of just accepting things and the circumstances on the planet and being a victim to that, rather than actually waking up to the fact that we're the creators of our own reality and we get to create our lives in the way that we want to live it, in absolute freedom, abundance, love, and that which makes us feel fulfilled and purpose. So it's been a long journey, and it's the most of the part of the journey has been around my self-healing and the healing of my heart and healing of my father wound, and now going into the next deeper layers, because as you know, like, it never stops, right? We're always going just deeper into this space of that, what we call self-development. And we are in the self-development industry. If you're here with me in the space and you're listening, you're also part of that big transformation that we're actually contributing to the planet through the self-development industry, as we call it, the coaching industry and so forth. But there's so many aspects to that. And the way how I see it is that when we decide to come into service and to launch our business, we're actually really stepping into the full activation of our soul purpose and our soul mission, the reason why we even came here. And that is exactly what I received this weekend, going into plant medicine ceremony with Grandmother Ayahuasca, that I have worked with so much already and have a very deep bond with her. If you're not familiar with plant medicine and you're wondering, like, what is that? I just released a podcast, and you can go to the link in my bio to listen into. First of all, I'm sharing about my personal transformation story, how I went from being a immigrant child from Eastern Europe and Austria, how I felt like an alien, like an outsider all of my life, being raised by a mother that was a single mother with financial stress, and being raised in an environment of that crossed financial trauma in me, and how I'm transcending that and healing that as well through the abandonment wound after my father left me. So there's quite some stuff that I went through, but also not that crazy traumatic like some other incredible souls that come here and actually go through incredible, like, deep, dark trauma. So we're all experiencing what we are meant to experience for that exact purpose, to transcend it and then activate it into the purpose mission of stepping into the leadership that we're meant to step into. Hey, Chantal. Thanks for the beautiful messages you sent me. I didn't get to reply to you yet, but I read it. So Chantal, she already checked into my podcast and was sending me messages about how inspired she is and how much she resonates with my story and how much she sees herself in me. And this is really, like, where I get to really also open my heart to so many souls that resonate with the story, that can find themselves in there, and we get to connect no matter where you are. Chantal is in Germany, right? No matter where we are in the planet, we get to hold each other and be connected on that deep soul level where we're like, yes, like Chantal sent me a message like, we are on the same soul tribe, girl. I recognize myself in you, like, we're connected. And I love this so much because it just shows again, like, the depth of the impact that we're creating through us showing up to our own soul mission, which is then packaged and packed right into your business, right? And your offers and the transformations that you're bringing to the table for whoever wants to join your programs. So I want to talk about how this really works energetically when we tap into that higher calling and that higher mission, and how this is infusing and actually supercharging your business and your, like, whether you have a brand, an umbrella brand, a personal brand, or whether you are the brand, and whatever you're doing, the work that you bring to the table, the work that you're facilitating, you get to channel down that higher purpose and supercharge your work with the depth of the meaning of why you even came to this planet, right? And this is exactly what I received from grandmother Ayahuasca this weekend when I sat with her in ceremony. And I was double checking with her again and again to see, like, the thing that I'm doing right now since I launched Hyper Hot in February, it's been quite a ride, because first of all, there's been lots of misconceptions of what I'm doing, like friends and people that are close to me, like maybe judging it, and not fully understanding what it was all about, but me really trusting in my guidance that there's just this thing that I wanted to come through me, and I give space to that higher force to channel through me, and I'm like literally going out of the way in order for it to be created and birthed through me. Like, can I release control and attachment of the ideas of how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to what the message is supposed to bring to the planet, like, just because the ideas that I have, rather than giving space and allowing things to come through you, through your soul, channel through you in this, like, way where, like, sometimes I don't even know why all of this is happening, because it's so big, like my mind cannot even comprehend. But the more I lean into it and I release and I relax into it, the more I actually allow and give space for all of the energy and all of the power to come through and pour through, because there is a higher mission that I actually signed up to when I came to this planet. So I wanted to share with you, like, this mini masterclass about the business breakthrough that I received working with ayahuasca. And I wanted to also address that there is some people in my audience right now that feel called, that might feel just curious, that don't know really yet, like, is that my path or no? And I want you to just be with me in this energy to explore and stay open to alternated states of consciousness that exist on this planet and that are portals that we can, here we go, that we can step through and into by releasing judgments. That's the main thing. Releasing judgments, releasing preconceived ideas and projections. Just because we heard something or we read something, we think about it in a certain way. And basically like release of actually there is like a collective stigma and fear around those quote unquote, what I call it, helpers of those unseen realms that actually are here to support us. They're here. They've been seeded into this planet in order, with the sole purpose, to support evolution of humanity, to help support the resolution of problems that people have on their personal level and that we have collectively on this planet. And souls that feel called to work with plant medicines are actually souls that know that they are part of the solution, right? We can either stand on the side of being part of the problem, or we can be part here offering solution, right? You can choose. Where do you wanna position yourself? And I know that you women that are listening to this, that are part with me in this space, you're here because you are part of the solution. You already are in that space of awareness that you see the issues that are at stake. You see the problems, and of course, like, we can't solve all of the problems. That's why, we create a business that is focusing on one solution to one specific problem, right? Whether you're a relationship coach and you're offering a solution to people that have problems in relationships and interhuman connection, and you're offering solutions to that, or whether you are a health coach, right, and you're offering a solution to people that are maybe stressed out, burned out, and have health issues, right? You're offering a solution to a problem that is not just for one person, but there is a collective issue at stake that's a problem. And we all have that genius that we tap into because we know that we are deriving the solution from a personal experience, right? We're talking about embodied leadership in the coaching industry, in the self-development industry. We're talking about embodied wisdom, meaning that you have created a solution for yourself. You have found something that has helped you because you had something going on, a problem, an issue, and you have somehow, maybe there was some external help, you accumulated like some stuff that has then helped you, and then you're transforming and transmuting that into your own unique solution proposition, right? And that's where you see coaches and mentors, they birth their own healing modalities, and we need those things so much, because we need those unique solutions and propositions for people to come out of their states that they're struggling with, because we're creating a collective ripple of healing for the whole wild planet, no matter whether you're now, quote unquote, niching or focusing on, let's say, health, self-worth, self-empowerment, or, relationship, all of those things, sexuality, whatever it is that you're focusing. Like for me, for instance, that's the thing that really, really landed for me when I was sitting with grandmother, is that she is here to support that. She's here to give me that, sense of you are backed up. You are backed up by all those invisible forces that have the highest good of all in intention. You are backed up, right? And I wanted to go in and I wanted to check in because we get like to sometimes into the space of self-doubt and insecurity. Is this what I'm meant to be doing? Is this the correct way? Is this the path? This is the thing, right? And it just causes confusion and delay on you stepping fully into your power, right? And if you're like seeing clearly what's happening on this planet, like we don't have any time to waste. We don't have any time to lose. Like it's now. We are gotta like be activated and step like fully come online with our gifts and our geniuses and our soul missions now is the time. Not in 10 years, not in 20 years. Like if you're listening to this message, you know that there is an urgency here that is pressing a whole bunch of souls to like break through whatever distraction that is holding them at the distance, because they're still figuring out like, like their own insecurities and their own self-doubt. But we got to break through that and clear all of that out so that you can become that pure vessel and channel for the message to come through, because there's people that are really needing help right now. They're really needing help. There's poverty consciousness on this planet. So how grandmother ayahuasca helped me this weekend was just so beautiful, because I just went in with a really total open heart and just open to receive whatever she wanted, me to receive. And as I said, like our mission has a lot to do with our own healing and our own transformation story. So actually she has brought me back 4 generations back in a vision to my ancestors, and like the remembrance that I held within held within my cellular memory of the poverty consciousness, because my grandparents, they have lived in deep poverty. Yes, I have a lineage. Part of my lineage has Armenian roots through my mother's bloodline, and that poverty and dependency on external circumstances, which is really disempowerment when it comes as well to resources, right? Not just like financial resources, but resources of food and nourishment. So like hunger, a state of hunger is a real like DNA fact within my cellular memory from the upbringing of my blood lineage. So I went back and I saw like my grandmother, how she was suffering hunger, states of hunger. And the beautiful thing that ayahuasca allows us to do in that extended, transcended space of awareness and consciousness is actually you come out of that exact timeline in which you are seated right here, right now, and you can travel through timelines, you can travel through dimensions. So she has literally allowed me to ascend for that moment of there is no time and no space into an angelic presence, and to come to my grandmother as that angel that places her hand into the hungry tummy of that little girl and gives her comfort for that moment. And which makes me emotional. But you see, like, we are right now so privileged to be in a state of having access to those superpowers. We are having access to our ascended states of existence. We are having access to be human right here, right now, and be a superhuman, a ascended master, an angel, right at the same time, through that expanded, altered state of consciousness. And if you ever have felt that presence of an energy, of a loving energy in your space, or a synchronicity or something that happened where you were like, wow, this is a miracle, then you know that those invisible energies exist, that are here to support us, that hold us, that we, like, in this cute way we call them like angelic or angels, right? But we created a concept in order to understand and to give it like a identity, right? We give it an identity of even calling like angels names, like Angel Raphael. I actually, in some of my ceremonies, in one particular ceremony, I encountered Archangel Raphael and Archangel Ariel as they have introduced themselves to me, and I have communed with them. I have felt them right here on the physical body. And some of you be like, oh, I'm all the time with my angels. I'm all the time talking to my angels. Like, I'm so connected with my angels. But do you understand that you get to be that angel yourself? That it's now time for you to become an angel yourself in this lifetime, right? To create that healing, that support that other humans need, that don't have yet access to, that openness and that awareness that angels are part of our life, and that beautiful, benevolent, invisible energies are part of our life that support us and help us create whatever we want to create on this planet. So really, like, the biggest breakthrough that I received sitting with Grandmother Ayahuasca this weekend was that your service mission, your business is supported by those invisible forces, and it's orchestrated, right? It's incredible to actually, like, not even realize that we down here, like, we think like we gotta figure it out all by ourselves. That we gotta, like, figure out, like, all of the things, like how you're gonna reach, like, hundreds of people, how you're gonna sign clients, how you're going to, like, and we get stuck in the mental processes of, like, the strategies of how are you going to manage your business, how you're going to create offers. Like, it's actually not so much even up there. Yes, we gotta work out the practical things so that we can actually let go of them, so they can come effortless to us, and we don't need to, like, sit and think so hard about, like, okay, what is going to be my next offer, what is going to be the next transformation, or how am I gonna enroll clients, like, what is the sales process, like, how am I gonna invite, like, how am I gonna create more visibility and exposure to my brand. Like, there is a divine orchestration happening if you're really, like, channeling your business through your soul and the soul mission in that full soul alignment. Yeah, and I'm talking to clients that know that are here to create incredible wealth. Yes, and this is oftentimes something that my clients, they feel intuitively they're meant for that. They're meant for millions, multiple millions, and that's correlated straight directly to the impact that they're meant to ripple out through the world. Yeah, because it's never just the money. The money is just the byproduct of the transformation of the thing that you bring into the planet, right? Because we're not talking about, like, the 3D matrix business models that are just selling a product and making multiple millions by selling cigarettes. Like, we are like beyond that. We're talking about divine business creation, where your gifts are going to create impact and transformation and healing and something good to the planet, which unlocks the resources that support you doing all of the things that you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. And this is where so many coaches and healers get tripped up on the whole money thing, is because they're still in those lower states, those, like, one-dimensional states when it comes to their business. They're trying to figure it all by themselves and trying to, like, be like that one person show, versus actually, like, you have, like, a whole, when you commune with the divine and your source, of your own divinity and your soul, which you are tapped in. I know you are tapped in. Otherwise, you wouldn't even listen to this stream here. You will be in a complete different dimension, a complete different place in your life if that wouldn't be a true and a fact for you, that you know that you're connected to your higher self and your soul. But when it comes to then channeling that into our business, people get tripped up because the business seems that in order for it to generate money, it needs to be all rational. It needs to all make sense. It needs to be all planned out. It needs to be all really like strategic and regulated and worked out. Otherwise, like, you know, and that's a paradigm that almost like when it comes to you monetizing your gifts, it kind of like short circuits your spiritual connection. And let me know if this is true. Like, drop me a comment if it's like, oh yeah, I think that's the case for me, where I don't really fully see my spiritual gifts linked to money fully. Yeah, but we gotta transcend that consciousness, because what I really see is that ripples through the whole planet is something that we call poverty consciousness. Poverty consciousness is when, you know, we see this whole part of the planet that is in poverty, right? They're like physically in poverty. And then when we're here in the privileged world, in the Western world, we think like, oh, but we're disconnected from that poverty because we're actually like, you know, we have access to resources and we're well fed. We have food, right? So we are not actually in poverty consciousness, but that's not true, because scarcity, lack, the whole thing of like not having not enough, not being able to afford whatever the heck you want to afford for yourself, is linking you straight back into poverty consciousness. And so what I've experienced this weekend with grandmother is where within my consciousness, my mind, my body, my beingness, my energy, I was having a sacred contract with poverty consciousness, which is an attachment to my bloodline. Really, I saw it so clearly. It was like it took me down all the 4 generations past, seeing my grandmother like starving and not having any food, right? And being hooked energetically on a soul level to that suffering. And there was this big teaching of like, that gets to be unhooked now. There is a healing that needs to be happening. If we're talking about transmuting poverty consciousness, it gets to happen for you first, which means oh my god, like you gotta unhook energetically from your attachment to your own bloodline of poverty. And there's a piece of me where it was resisting it, because it's the thing that we know so deeply on the cellular memory level. We know it. It's so familiar to us that we don't want to let go of the thing that we know is true for us. But we also know that infinite abundance is actually more true. It's actually of a higher truth. And it requires that extra decision to transmute yourself out of that energetic contract that is running with poverty consciousness, and then ascend out of it into a new timeline, into a new generation. Yeah, you just had a realization. I knew that this is an important conversation that some people need to really hear, because it's so unconscious. It is so unconscious that people don't even realize that there is something so deep and unconscious running that keeps them almost like stuck in that lack mentality. But we gotta like work that out. ladies, like, we gotta like really break through that shit. We gotta clean up that shit, because you cannot run a successful business while you're at the same time tapped into poverty consciousness. Well, the way how you could transform that with Aya, literally, alright, light just died out. It's not really easily explained in this one live stream, right? It's not really just easily explained. And I will tune into whether I can like go deeper into that in the next live stream, or if I will keep that as an intimate, because it's more than just words, right? How to transform that with Aya is more than just words. I could sit here and explain it to you, but it wouldn't make any sense, yeah? So that's why there's an invitation for you to come into my space. It's called Supercharge, and it has everything to do with the conversation about tapping into your genius, into your higher self, into your soul purpose, in order to infuse that and supercharge your business with it, because you don't have to do this on your own, right? This gets to be orchestrated through the higher forces that run through you and help you create that which you're meant to create on this planet. And the space is in order to transmit energetically to you all the codes that I received from grandmother. And yeah, like I'm not fully clear like how I can explain it to you, but I know that you can feel it and you can receive it through the codes that I can emit through my beingness. By being with me in the space, you can receive those codes, and it will change and ripple through to you, and it will be transmitted to you. Because when I'm going through that process, you can tap into that and receive that by me transmitting it in real time to you and taking you through that quantum space of unexplainable, mystical paradigm. It's a paradigm shift that needs to happen, but this paradigm shift is so big that like literally there's not enough words for it to explain it. But if you want to come closer and be in my space, there is an open invitation for you we start next Monday. Yes. And it might be the next piece, the next layer for you to unlock that next evolution. And maybe this is going to be the space where you're going to break through. I feel really there is a big potency in right now, in this time right now. We're again approaching a full moon, and there is a constellation, an alignment here that I feel there's a great potency to create like that breakthrough moment where those old structures, this old paradigm can crumble and we can release it so that we can emerge into a new paradigm, a new being, a new consciousness, a new awareness, a new way of thinking and feeling, and then allowing the universe to orchestrate that new experience of life, right? We gotta trust the higher forces to orchestrate things for us. Like, we are not meant to do this our own. We are not meant to push and force ourselves through the struggle and the pain and the hard work, right? There's been some people that were pushing that transformation by hard work, but this is not me. And if you're here with me, that's probably as well not you. We are not meant, this is just not part of our soul contract. We're not meant to perpetuate hard work and struggle and burnout and exhaustion as part of the paradigm of infinite abundance. Actually, the opposite. Yes, we're meant to create something that is energetically aligned to beauty, to effortlessness, to the feminine creation and the mysticism and the miraculous unfolding and the potentiality, the infinite potentials. There is so much abundance on this planet that we can tap into. Literally, like for me, luxury and luxury brands and celebrities and those who have hundreds and hundreds of millions are not here to create separation, are here in order to show us actually that this is a world that exists that we can shift into by shifting our paradigm. I'm at the end. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening in. If you're watching the replay, #replay, let me know. Let me know what comes through to you. Share in the comments. If you're curious, if you want to join the space, you know, you can DM me and say you're interested. The program is called Supercharge. We're starting on Monday. Feel free to reach out if you want any more if you have any more questions, and you want some more clarity on what this looks like, just reach out to me, and I'm here to be present with you and support it, because really it's like, how can I support you more fully to break through those things that you don't desire in your life, those things that are not working, those things that are not aligned, those things that you don't want to have that in your life. How can you get unstuck? How can you be liberated and free yourself from all of those like conditions of the matrix for you to actually be free and be a fully liberated, freely expressed human being that creates miracles, that creates beauty with this universe? Like literally, like my life, how I came from living in a small apartment in Berlin in 2015 and 2016 to now living in Costa Rica and being fully supported and having everything fall into place. Like, yeah, it might take like a year or 2 or 3 or 4, but I promise you, the more you take yourself into those conversations, the faster it will actually happen for you, because it is a shift of your paradigm of what you believe as true matter of fact, and to transform that and shift that into a different reality, different state of consciousness. And that's how actually plant medicine has helped me to accelerate. Yeah. All right, my loves, have a beautiful day, and I'm looking forward to see you. Bye bye. Bye, Chantal.